Good morning, YouTube. It's 5:35. Actually, it's probably 5:45. No, I've not brushed my eyebrows yet, or put in, fake pencil or whatever you call it. I don't know. I was just ran across this video called. It was just a clip. It was just a short about millennials versus the U.S. government, and it was a little mocking short about the stupid shit that older people or whatever tell millennials about their problems, and it's just like, yeah, because it is kind of, I mean, I get it. I do. I'm annoyed by my millennial children on one hand. On the other hand, I totally was like over helping them because it wasn't the 80s. My therapist was like, what are you going to let them fall? I'm like, well, I can't let my daughter be homeless. I mean, I gotta help her. And it wasn't that I was necessarily giving them cash and doing it. I was doing tasks. I was running alongside them, like, this is how you do it. Hurry, come on, come on, come on, come on. And like helping them with their car, helping them with their whatever, get to work when they didn't have a car. These things. I wasn't handing out wads of cash. I didn't have wads of cash to give, and I wouldn't have done that because my parents didn't give that to me. Once I was able to work, they did not hand me cash. I mean, maybe occasionally, like on my birthday, here's a birthday, or whatever, take me out, whatever. I'm losing my point. Just a sec. Let me pause this for a second. I lost my point. All right, so I'm in therapy for 7 years. Kids are like, you need therapy, you need therapy. Then they didn't like what the therapist said because I was right, apparently. Anyway, about a lot of things. I wasn't right about everything, but I was right about a lot of things. I had a skewered viewpoint of things because of how I was raised. But anyway, I helped them. I ran beside them because it wasn't the fucking 80s, Dave. They can't. When you lost everything in the 80s, 3 weeks later, after surfing on your friend's couch, you were back in the ball game. You had enough money to pay rent. I mean, you could work a job, a minimum wage job, and you could rent a room or rent a one-bedroom apartment or whatever, and you could and pay electric bill, and you could pay your car insurance, everything. You can't do that now. But then, I've got other adults around me saying, but they don't know what it was like in the 80s. They know what it's like now. Like, this is their era. Like, they don't know how easy the 80s was. They're not, I said, yeah, but I understand that my kids have been disrupted and damaged in ways because their childhood was not stable and their parents were not cohesive the way they should have been. Thank you very much. You fucking morons on the other end that fought me uphill every step of the fucking way. Lucky all the kids didn't jump off a fucking bridge, you fucking stupid dickhead. Anyway, back to the point. My therapist said, you're helping them too much. Because I didn't want, well, if they're homeless, then I gotta let them come in. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Dave! I can't let my grown adult daughter be homeless on the street. It's not gonna happen, okay? Anyway, I helped so they wouldn't have to be. Anyway, and now they're fine. Everybody's self-sufficient. My point was, I lost my point again. You can't get a minimum wage job now and pay rent anywhere. You can't rent a fucking bicycle. Anyway, so it's much, much, much harder. But I'm looking in the comment section of this video. There's my daddy long legs. He likes to live here. I'll scoot over. And these people are like, the boomers ruined everything. The boomers just think that the boomers. Well, and then people think I'm a boomer, but I'm not. I'm like, why do you think I'm a boomer? Do I really look that old? That's why I was carrying Boom Boom Rocks. I was carrying Boomer briefly. Okay, Karen, Boomer. That's what they were saying to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you think I'm fucking 80? Like, get the fuck out. Really? Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I can accept that. I'm like the beginning of Gen X? Anyway, 67. Blaming the boomers. The boomers suck. The boomers suck. You know what? Yeah, they sucked. You know why? Because their parents 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 sucked. You know why? Because the masses, society, the religion, whatever the party line was of the day, this is what is the media. This is what's wrong. It's not the boomers did it all. The boomers ruined everything. Really? Can we just pull back a little bit on history and like, really? Yeah, they suck. My one daughter both my daughters waitress, one more than the other, but said the worst, most rudest, ignorant clients they have customers are middle-aged white people. So fucking rude. And I'm like, I know, man, right? God! We're really... Anyway. And black people. Black and white middle-aged. They're just like, oh, uppity. And my one daughter got fired one time for being racist against a black couple because she asked this black guy for a military ID to give him his military discount at the restaurant. And he's like, well, he didn't need to show you his ID. She said, because he's in uniform. They complained to the boss, said she was a racist bitch, and they fired her. Her boyfriend was black at the time. I'm just like, what? Anyway, yeah, the boomers suck. You suck, boomers. But you know what? Because their parents sucked. What my parents did to me was raise me in a way that they did not show me how to do a single life sustaining skill. Nothing other than maybe washing my crotch, okay, and brushing my teeth. They taught me how to do, I didn't know how to garden. I didn't know how to mow. I have never mowed a lawn in my life. Can you believe that? I'm mortified. I'm like, Lenny, please let me mow the lawn. He's like, no, you'll cut your feet off. My parents used to say that too. No, he didn't say that, but I said, this is what my parents used to say, I'd cut my feet off. He said, well, now they have like these mowers that have like you let go of the handle, babe, and the mower, and it cuts off so it won't cut your feet off. Well, hallelujah. There's a mower for Karen now. My dad would be pleased. He's like, you're so stupid. He didn't want me to get a driver's license. You're so stupid. You'll forget your driving and you'll just let go of the steering wheel and come over here and start playing with something. I said, what the? I was so insulted by these people on a daily. I cannot believe that I'm still here in remotely my right mind. I'm like, God, I was a social experiment. Anyway, like if we insult her every 5 minutes, her entire upbringing, what'll happen? What'll happen? Will she be that doctor, that lawyer? Will she be a brain surgeon? No, I was barely a hairdresser and barely got out of there alive. I hope they got paid handsomely. Anyway, for doing that to me, it must have been hard. At any rate, yeah, it's not the generations before us fault. I'm looking at philosophy now. I never have in the past, but I'm looking at it going, I get it now. I am highly interested in it now. Although, it's not like I'm going to adopt some old dude's philosophy from hundreds or thousands of years ago, however it was. But I'm digging. I mean, sometimes it's good to arrange it in your mind to get a backdrop of how to get through the day and how to get through life. I mean, like religion was for me at one time. Most of my life was, and I just said, no, I didn't grow up thinking religion was going to be like my entire life until I turned 18 and it was introduced to it. Fucked me up hard. Anyway, now I'm into philosophy. And now I see where my son is at. My son was a born philosopher. So he's in it. He's into Taoism now. He's like, well, Mom, nothing. I'm like, yeah, no, son. But I said, well, if you're not going to do anything, then somebody else has got to do it for you, right? He's like, oh. So I pointed out a little flaw in his system of thinking. But he's coming along. I'm really impressed. I hope he doesn't pick up the bottle again. Because he got out of his safe zone where he was being regulated hard by an aunt that he was living with his father. But anyway, so they've trekked out on their own. Like 60, how old is his dad? I don't even know. He's 12 years old. 67-year-old and 5-year-old is what he is. And we'll see if these guys make it. I don't know. In the name of Jesus, y'all. All right. Don't blame the boomers. It's not all their fault. Because their parents suck too. They lied to them. They gave them the same false narrative of what the world was about. And you don't need to learn how to do, make lye soap. You don't need to learn how to do nothing. Because we've got a supply chain now. You go to the grocery store. Everything's fine. Get a career. Get a modern career. Get these kind of clothes. It's just like, I am so glad now, looking back, that I was so confused as a child and kept holding this view inside of myself that these people are fucked up, because turns out I was right. I'm like, thank God I didn't because, I was wasted many, many years squeezing myself into this hole or shape or whatever they wanted me to be. I just truly did not understand that I didn't have to be that person. I just couldn't really. Oh, it's your fault for doing it. Okay, blame me all day. But I was programmed hard. So program a computer and then keep expecting it to do something different. Oh, yeah, well, the computer doesn't have life inside. Okay, I get it. All right, fine. It took me 50 years to figure it out. Excuse the fuck out of me. Had I not had children, I'd have come out of it probably 25 years sooner, because that kept me in a place where I was so responsible for them that I couldn't even begin to think about who I or what the hell I was supposed to be. But once they were grown and now they're out, now I go, oh, okay, now I'm back to me. Who am I? And this is what has happened to me. Thank you, everyone, for helping me by letting me talk shit on YouTube and figuring this shit out. See you later, YouTube!